Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the One Meal channel. And if you are new here, then welcome. My name is Nathan, and people from all over the world converge on this channel 5 days a week to watch me come up with some crazy contraption that somewhat resembles food. That's massive, and it allows me to eat one meal a day and still get all the calories that I need. And people new and old know that the best way to enjoy a channel like this is to grab your very own beverage or your very own meal and enjoy it alongside me. So let's get on with the video, shall we? Okay. Well, hey, did you miss me? It's been a few days. I have good news for all of the longtime viewers of the channel because they've been wanting to know this answer. I did get an offer to accept a new job. So here in the near future, I will be accepting that job and starting that job. So it is all ironed out. It's not just an offer letter I accepted. We finished all of the details. It is a go. And the reason why I share it is because, as you know, recently, and the reason why we went from 7 days a week down to 5 days a week is because of the kind of graveyard job that I'm working. So I've also put my 2 weeks in for the graveyard job. We were following along exactly how I wanted things to go. I wanted to stop working that graveyard job sometime this year. I wanted to start going back to the gym more consistently sometime this year. I'm not out of shape, I'm not unhealthy, I like my body with a little bit more muscle on it. And you know what? That is exactly what we are going to do. So, with that being said, this job does require me to travel a little bit more, which means that we're still going to stick with the 5 day a week upload. Sometimes I might feel a little gratuitous and maybe I'll put an extra upload out there, but I think we just stick with the same schedule that we have now. Because a lot of you watch these videos over the weekends. That's your best time to watch, so we're not going to take weekends away from you. We're just going to have 2 weekdays where we don't upload, and every once in a while I might upload extra. So I'll use that opportunity to kind of upload ahead when I know I'm going to be traveling multiple days over typical upload schedule. And if the opportunity provides itself, of course, I will film a video for you while I'm out and about. So yeah, all good news for me today. And I'm glad to share it with you because it is going to help us get even closer to hitting our 1,000 subscriber goal for the channel by the end of this year, which new viewers who have been coming in, new subscribers who just subscribed from our last video here a couple of days ago, thank you for doing so. You are helping us accomplish our goal little by little, or at least you're contributing and we're getting a step closer to that goal. And at the rate that we are going to have no problem hitting that 1,000 subscriber goal. So thank you very much. Let's not let up until the very end so we can hit YouTube Partner and officially have my first 1,000 subscriber channel. You've also given me some inspiration, you viewers. You have, let's say, dealt with me over the last 6 months of me making more or less the exact same meal every single day. I get an earful about it from my friends and my family, which is fine. It's all healthy ribbing, right? And it's playfully mocking me for eating the same meal every single day. And it's been a kind of a point of pride for me to remain eating the same type of meal every day. But today is not that day. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Last week we tried out the pot roast, which is something I've had before, something I was happy to film and show all of you, and I was even happier to eat it all. Today, you might say, well no, today's starting out just like every other day. You have his onion, he's got his potatoes, the bacon's back. What could be different about today? Well, notably missing, there is no rice, and we have way more eggs. And that is because I am going to try my hand at a more traditional breakfast burrito. Now, it's still going to be massive, and it still is going to be the only thing that I eat today, But I think we're going to try to make a breakfast burrito that fits all into one massive tortilla instead of making the 2 burritos that I usually do and filling it full of rice. Tomorrow we will get back to a more normal eating habit schedule where I'll thaw out some chicken. We will have just basically chicken and rice, the typical vertical diet, the typical Gym Bros paradise, and I will enjoy that. And then maybe this weekend, because Memorial Day weekend is coming up, I'll pull out that chicken. We have a big old whole chicken in here. I might pull that out and thaw it, and then throw it in the oven. That video will take, like I said earlier, that video will take a little bit longer for me to film, need a little bit more editing. And I think the Memorial Day weekend will be the perfect time to do that. So I thought I put 8 eggs in here. You see 8 yolks? I don't see 8 yolks. I only see 7. So let's push that up to 8. This way we're staying consistent with eating our 8 eggs a day. But instead of having, eggs and bacon on the side before the rest of our meal gets put together, we're just going to incorporate it all into itself. Bacon grease really is the best cooking substance that you can use to cook potatoes in. As much as I've enjoyed the coconut oil, don't need it if you're cooking with bacon. And the potatoes with the bacon grease, I don't know, it might just be a match made in heaven. This is probably something that's been cooked in America ever since the country's founding, and probably before it even. Potatoes cooked in bacon fat. Cinema. Absolute cinema. Probably one of the few guilty pleasures that I really do have. That's not true. You've seen me with an energy drink in here from time to time. That's definitely a big no-no. That's definitely a big unhealthy living choice. But pick your vices. Pick your vices. I appreciate all of you guys leaving your comments in as well, letting us know what you are cooking up, what you are enjoying, what you like about the channel, what you would like to see. Feel free to continue leaving comments. If you've made it this far into the video, leave a like. And if you make it all the way to the end, we will weigh our burrito. Don't skip to the end. But we will weigh our burrito so you understand exactly how heavy each one of our meals are. Now for a meal like this, since we're not doing the rice, it wouldn't be a bad idea to count our macros. But just as a general rule, an entire cup of uncooked rice comes out to about 1,000 calories worth of cooked rice. I use Jasmine. Typically, 1,000 calories of rice in a day is a lot of carbs coming from rice, especially in a single meal. It'll elevate your GI pretty significantly. It would probably be best to portion that out throughout the day to have a more consistent and less radically changing glucosamine index. Today, all of our carbs are going to come from this tortilla, and we'll keep it as such. So we're going to be in a calorie deficit today. It's not for any particular reason, and I'm not trying to gain weight or lose weight. I quite like where I'm at right now. I know that I ate more than enough food yesterday to be in a calorie surplus. So today, being in a calorie deficit won't be that big of an issue. And tomorrow, I'll just let you know if I got really hungry by the end of the day and needed to eat something else. Because just because I eat one meal a day doesn't mean that if I feel like it, I can't eat again. And likewise, if I really wanted to, I could eat nothing in a single day if I really didn't feel like eating that day. This is more of a guideline rather than a rule. The point isn't to only eat once a day. Really, the point is just to have one time a day that I can cook for myself and cook for myself something healthy that will be ready for me when I am done cooking it can essentially be cooked in one pan, and then I can go on with the rest of my day. It's basically like a 30-minute break from all of the work that I do. Then I get to, sit down and upload this video and kind of catch up on, some of my other personal interests that I have before I go back and essentially work some more. And I do work a lot. A lot of you have commented about that. You say that I work a lot. I do. But frankly, I enjoy working. I'm one of those people that really likes to work. And although you've seen, my roommate Noah, there is no Mrs. One Meal here anywhere. So this is a perfect time for me to kind of throw myself and invest myself into my work. So, I'm not invincible. Like I said, I do like working, and I do genuinely enjoy it, and I like to do it a lot, but I'm not impervious to burnout. So you are helping me. The fact that I get to come out here, every work day, essentially, make a meal for myself and recoup my strength is excellent. The reason why I do it at the end of my workday and make these meals at the end of my workday is because eating, no matter what I eat, doesn't have to be carbs, it can be whatever. It can be a small meal, it can be a large meal. No matter what I eat, I get tired. I get really sleepy. I get kind of groggy. And I've worked my whole life in positions where I have to talk to people, and the way that I talk to people impacts my income. So I need to be at my best as often as possible. So I just cannot afford to be groggy, cannot afford to miss things. Yeah, so I keep all of my eating through the end of the day. I used to do a lot of snacking, but I realized that I just didn't have enough self-control. Working and snacking at the same time was a bad combination because I wouldn't realize how much I was eating. And by the time the workday was over, I would realize. So I used to have like a big jar, not jar, but like they come in all these little plastic containers, little tubs, big tub, I think that's the word for it, big tub of peanuts, probably like a gallon of peanuts or something like that. And seriously, I go through like a quarter of the entire tub in a day of just peanuts. So I like peanuts. They're good for good healthy fats. They do make a good snack because they're also very satiating, so protein and fat are always great. But what I noticed is that I just wouldn't stop eating them. Yeah, and although peanuts are great, they do have a pretty good amount of calories in them. So if I'm going to be, all right, I'm going to do something really goofy right here. Give me a second. Hopefully I don't make a huge mistake. Oof. Pulling out 2 bowls in a single hand. That's not easy. Anyway, so I've tried to stop snacking throughout the middle of the day. I try to wait until I cook my meal, like right now, before I eat anything at all. Sometimes that doesn't happen. I used to cook with rotisserie chicken instead of having like chicken breasts and stuff that I would, like raw chicken that I would cook up. And so if I was really hungry and I couldn't wait, I would come in and just heat up some chicken breast, some rotisserie chicken breast, and we call it good. So now that we got all of this off to the side, we're going to move forward with probably the most important part of our breakfast burrito, and that is the eggs. So I do think there's still a good amount of grease in there. So that we won't get any major stickage. But this will be the final part of putting together our meal before I cut up that bacon into little pieces. I don't know, I'm tempted to just put the whole strip in there. I was tempted to just have, sunny side up eggs in there. But really, I figured I would make something that Like, you can do this exact same thing at home and just put them into smaller burritos, right? You can meal prep things for yourself or for your family, doing exactly what I'm doing right now. And it's really simple, one potato, one onion, swap out, the bacon grease for something else if you want something a little bit more healthier. But 8 eggs is typically not what somebody eats in a day. That's what you would do to provide for a family. And you can do this for yourself. Just get smaller tortillas. Maybe add some buttermilk to this or whatever you want. Buttermilk is probably a horrible option. Add some milk to this or whatever you want. It's probably my favorite part about just burritos in general is that you can throw them in the fridge or you can throw them in the freezer. They're perfect for meal prep. I had them all the time when I was in high school, when I was playing football. Yeah, originally my mom would make smoothies for me. And what I found out is that if I had a smoothie right before going into practice or doing like a strength training or speed and agility training, it would really upset my stomach. So especially when you're exerting yourself, you're trying to grow your stamina. It really, really bothered my stomach to the point where I had a few accidents. I'm not going to talk about it any more than that because we have food in front of us, but you get the point. So I switched over to breakfast burritos and like smaller burritos than what I have now. From a very young age, that's what I did. Yeah, and I liked it because it was convenient when you needed it. It's also convenient to cook up. And very satiating as well. Yeah, and I'm just using this tool so I can scrape off all of the egg that's cooking on the side. It's not very good for all the stuff in the middle, but we want this to be nice and fluffy, cooked thoroughly through. It's incredible to believe that 8 scrambled eggs just turns out to this little clump of protein and fat right here. You'd think it would be way more. Those were large eggs, by the way, too. They're not mediums. No wonder our egg prices are going down. The eggs are smaller. It's a conspiracy. They lowered our prices, but they also shrunk our eggs. How could they? Nice. Alright, I keep adjusting the temperature as if that's something I need to do, but no, I should have just left it where it was before. So let me add just a little bit of garlic salt, as well as some pepper. I think that'll be our primary seasoning for our burrito. And also have some sriracha that I'll add, which I think will be good. And we'll just turn this in on itself. And I don't want this to be dry. I'll be honest, I don't know if you guys have ever seen me make scrambled eggs on the channel before, so I don't really know any tips or good techniques. I don't want it to be dry, but I just don't want anything runny, right? It's a burrito. I want as little moisture as possible. I think the potatoes and the onions with the bacon grease on it, and that's going to be more than enough moisture for the burrito. So that smells really good. It looks awesome. And so at this point, I think I'm just going to add everything in on top of itself right now, So you have like picky kids at home. Maybe you want to keep the onions and the potatoes and all the stuff separated out so that they can just have the things that that they're going to eat. But for me, I have been referred to as the human vacuum cleaner from time to time. I will just eat whatever is in front of me. I am. Whether I like it or not. So we'll just add that in on itself. Look at me again. I'm going to turn the heat up one more time. perfect. This looks good. And remember, this is all going into one burrito. This is going to be interesting. Let me take this. I think cutting it would be the best. So we'll take this and cut it into little strips. And my knife is kind of thin. I would cut it like this, but the knife is kind of thin. So just let me work through this. All of the thicker knives that we have are currently in the wash right now, otherwise I would use it. So I'll just use the tip of our knife. Really nice knife. I mean, this is the knife we're going to use for the chicken. Kind of acts as a good paring knife. So yeah, when we debone that chicken, we cook it up, when we take it out and we go and we debone it, that's going to be perfect for it. So now let's mix everything up a little thoroughly. Good. I'm just checking the screen in front of my chest right now. You guys are at a great angle. Should have checked that earlier. I've been doing this for 6 months now. I feel like I have a good system down. Yeah, you got a good angle of everything. You gotta think of a good thumbnail. You guys love the burrito wrap-up thumbnails. New people flock to videos like that. They like seeing burritos getting rolled up, especially big burritos. So I do too. That's why I like making them. So I gotta think of a good thumbnail for this big breakfast burrito that we have. I think I got one in mind. I mean, just look at all that color. Look how awesome that is. As usual, didn't have the foresight to prep our tortilla. So give me a moment. Please forgive me, new people. I am human like the rest of you. Just put it in for a minute. Let it heat up. See, and even my mug is massive. Even my coffee mug is huge. All right, I have very average-sized hands. I mean, this coffee mug, it actually takes me some pretty significant grip strength in order to keep a hold of it. I mean, geez, it's just an insanely large coffee mug. Everything that we do here on the One Meal channel is, in fact, large. That is good. That is good, my friends. All right, well, speaking of prep, hot. Oh, jeez. Oh, chow. Okay. Perfect. Well, now's the time. This might be our biggest burrito yet. I mean, this looks like too much food, right? This looks like it's not going to fit, and it might not. It might not. On this channel, we are not afraid of embarrassment, right? We are not afraid of making mistakes. Okay, if everything went perfectly every time, you would never come to watch. You know that I make mistakes and do goofy stuff. So we're going to put it all on the line right now. All 6 months of our training has led up to this point. Putting my entire childhood first job experience of making chicken wraps in the back of a Chuck E. Cheese like place. It's basically where it worked. I don't know if Chuck E. Cheese has chicken wraps, but of a mini golf course that sold food. This is where we're at now. Okay. Before I get my hands all messy, we will add our sriracha. Oof. Yeah, this is going to be close. This is going to be close, folks. This might be the heaviest burrito that we've ever made. So let's do a little flip. Oh my goodness, and it's super hot too. Ow. This is like a medieval torture technique. They put your hand in boiling hot water until you get a pebble at the bottom. Okay, it's going to be close. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Well, I mean, a little bit, but I don't want the ends to blow out. There we go here. All right, ends don't blow out. Got a lot of food in here. We can't have the ends blow out. Just a little bit. Oh. Oh. That is insane. We did have a little blowout, but that's okay. That is all right. We lost very little. Oh, all right. Jeez. My goodness. See, I did it again with the stove. This might be a burrito that I should have put on the stove to heat up in order to seal it a little bit better. I made a commenter say that, said that he did that at his job. I remember doing that as well. So, okay, I'm nervous now. I am absolutely nervous, but I think I know how we're gonna do this. So it's a little bit difficult for you to see what's here on the weight scale when I put a plate on it, because it covers up the weight. If I take this, we're not going to do our classic burrito flip, where we turn it upside down to show that it is combined together. We really push that to its limits. So I'll try to get you a good view of this. All right, there's our side profile here, absolutely gorged. Let's switch this to feet to pounds. Let's see if we can get you a good view of that. This is 1.84 pounds. Can you see that? You see that all right? I'm trying to zoom in. 1.84 pounds. Is interesting. So this weighs about as much as the plate. That's incredible. So 1.8 is negative 1.83. And I put it here. And this is 1.83. Again, that's kind of incredible. Okay. Well, we made a burrito that's about the same weight of the plate that it is resting on. That's insane. So we're going to eat a plate. Well, with that, I think that kind of wraps up our video for the day. None of you watch the end of my videos. I noticed that once I say that's the end of the video, you guys just go and you guys just leave. There's like 7% of people when I started the video, and after I say that's about the end, you don't listen to my outro or anything like that. And so we're gonna call out those other folks. If you type in potato in the chat, if you stay here all the way to the end, so I know who the real ones are. All right, I appreciate all of you. I will see you in the next one, though. I'm just kidding. I don't really care. The outro is boring anyway. Okay, bye.